So the last of my materials arrived, and I am finally ready to start tinkering on the idea of Speakeasy as a fragrance. Now, Speakeasy is meant to be an imitation of a gin fizz. And in this particular case, I'm going to make the simplest possible gin fizz, almost a bathtub gin. It has no botanicals in it at all besides juniper berry and good old coriander. So juniper berry and coriander is only 2/3 of what is required by the FDA to market something as a gin. It would also have to have angelica, but this was commonly the recipe for bathtub gin. And then I have the 2 food safe oils from my ginger ale project that are basically the absolute minimum backbone of what you can put in ginger ale. So I'm going to blend these up into a little something that I call Speakeasy to imitate the kind of vibe you get at one of these places behind me, where you can have some interesting times behind closed doors to this very day. So first we turn on our scale and we tear with our vessel on it. And let's see, I have no clue how much of what goes with what, so I'm just going to say equal amounts of everything. Let's see here. Go for what? 1/3 of a gram of ginger oil. A 1/3 of a gram lemon oil. A 1/3 of a gram of coriander. And a 1/3 of a gram of juniper berry. I've always found that if you don't know how much of what to use, it's generally not that bad an idea to try equal amounts. So this makes 1.36 grams. So I'm going to add, let's see, this is going to be 1 gram. Let's see. You see, if I add 20 grams or 19 grams to this, I will make it into a cologne. If I add about 13 grams, well, 12 grams to this, I will make it into an eau de toilette. And if I add about half that, so 6 grams, I'll make it into a parfum. Now this is all top note, none of this is going to last at all, so I should probably be making this into an eau de toilette concentration, so 12 more grams. wonder why this lushed like that. This does not look right. Okay, so put it. Put it in a bottle. And that is 11.87 grams. And it's cloudy in a way I don't like. Let's see. Okay. Try it real quick. On my pulse points. It smells more like lemon and ginger than it does like... Okay, so equal parts is not going to be the mix, because this smells very lemon and not at all juniper, coriander, but that's a handy thing to know. Okay, so I've put the test substance in the sprayer, spray it on the back of my hand. What I smell is that the lemon is too prominent. I should probably be using about 0.2 of a gram of lemon. I need to like double the amount of juniper berry, but it's really going to jump off the skin if I put that much juniper berry and coriander in it. It doesn't quite smell like a gin fizz yet, but if it's bathtub gin and okayish ginger ale, yeah, maybe. Has a last time of about 5 minutes on skin like this though. It needs something like benzoin or some sort of a darker underling to make it work. But at least this gives the concept of what I was looking for in my nice fresh blend. So after spraying this, it's become pretty obvious to me that it has no base, and that's why it doesn't last. So I'm going to try opening up my bottle. I tear this bottle here, and I'm going to add this premix that is 1/10 of a gram of ethyl maltol, 1/10 of a gram of vanillin, and a few 1/100ths of a gram of coumarin. This will fix the top notes a bit and give them a chance to be a little longer lasting and a little more mature if still top notes. And here, I'll add the very last of it. Now, I'm going to try and add just a little bit more of the juniper berry, because this was not breaking through. The lemon. So I've added another 0.2 of juniper berry to my bottle. Now I can add a little bit of my 15% benzoin solution. And this is a bit tricky because this is 15% benzoin tincture rather than being 10 or 25. Shake this back up. Put sprayer back on it. And with those powders in there, we should probably let that rest overnight before trying to spray it again. Now subscribe to see more of my experiments with the gin and ginger ale perfume. So after I added the vanilla and the benzoin, I gave my mix the opportunity to macerate overnight, though I did give a spritz to my husband, who is a gin drinker, who confirmed that this does to him smell like gin and 7-Up. So I can definitely smell the larger amount of juniper. Okay, the juniper balance to the coriander is much better with more juniper. It now smells like gin. It has this very juniper forward coriander nature. I can actually smell the ginger now, and the ginger is not forward at all. It does not really smell like gin and ginger ale. It smells much more like gin and lemon soda. There is some sweetness from the ethyl maltol. This is, as a top note, it is starting to show promise. I would say that Speakeasy 2 is a better top note than the original Speakeasy first trial, for the simple reason that it's got some small amount of fixative in it, and so all of the notes are distinguishable, and yet they all fuse together into this kind of gin and 7 impression. I'm going to need to up the amount of ginger in the next one, but I have a bunch more ginger and lemon materials coming from Eden Botanicals and from Liberty Naturals, so next round I should be able to make a much more full-bodied gin and ginger ale that is not so much the bathtub gin that this stuff is. Subscribe and stay tuned for more adventures in ginger ale.